labyrinth and had no other duties but to guard it, and so couldn't understand the concept of time management. "Not all of us can be at many places at once," she said to Than with a wry smile. Than handed her the disc. Before she could move into position to throw it, Hermes appeared a few feet away. Ariadne and Asterion stepped closer to see what the messenger god had to say. Jen sat up on her bed and threw her pillow in frustration at Pete, who leaned in the doorway of her bedroom. He caught the pillow and threw it back. "She'll come if you ask her," he said. "Tell her you need a friend, which wouldn't be much of a lie. You barely come out of your room anymore except to do chores." "And that's exactly why you should quit annoying me," Jen said, throwing her pillow at him again. He threw it back. "Why won't anyone take me seriously?" A horrible thought ran through Jen's mind. "You didn't tell Mom or Bobby, did you?" "Do I look stupid or something?" He sighed. "Of course not. I meant the gods. Than and Therese both ignore me. Hip just sends me sick messages in my dreams. I finally decided to go higher up." "Higher up?" "Zeus. Isn't he supposed to be the big shot?" Jen threw her pillow at his face. "You are stupid, Pete. Why would you do such a thing?" "Why is that so bad? I'm worried about Therese." He tossed the pillow across the room, where it landed on the floor beneath her window. "Why isn't anyone else?" "I doubt Therese will appreciate you involving Zeus in her problems, though I don't know if he cares, to tell you the truth." She lay back on her pillowless bed. "Just ask her to come for a visit," he said again. "Fine." When Pete left, Jen crossed the room for her pillow and then sank back on her bed. All she wanted to do these days was sleep. While awake, she only thought of her best friend, who wasn't even human anymore. Or she freaked out over her father's ghost creeping around their place, telling Pete cryptic messages. But while asleep, she could be with Hip. Even when she couldn't sleep, all she had to do was to pray for him to come to her, and he would, and she would instantly drift into a wonderful dream. She nestled into her covers and called to him. "Hip?" "Hello, sweetheart," he said in a poor imitation of somebody she recognized but didn't know the name of, some old classic long-dead actor. Hip had a habit of doing that. He seriously needed to update his movie references. But he was dang cute, no matter what he did. "Hello," she said, stifling a yawn. "Miss me?" "Always." He sat on her bed. "When can you come in mortal form so—" She yawned again. "Soon." "You always say that." She closed her eyes and gave in to sleep. Hypnos cupped Jen's face in his hands. Even in the dream world, her brown eyes sparkled like those of no other. They were especially sparkly beneath her blonde bangs and the full moon and star-filled sky. He and Jen sat beside one another on a moving Ferris wheel. The wind blew his hair into his eyes, so he closed them as he leaned in for a kiss. She returned his kiss, but pulled away earlier than he wanted. "When?" she asked. "When what?" "When will you visit me as a regular guy again?" She narrowed her eyes at him. "Aren't you listening to me?" He noticed she was getting better and better at transitioning from the waking world to the one of sleep. "You can continue a conversation from one world to the next?" "Don't change the subject." She brushed the hair from his eyes. He didn't know what to say as he bit the inside of his bottom lip. He had no more leverage to abandon his duties and visit her as a mortal man, and, unlike his brother, he wasn't willing to risk her life to invite her to become immortal. This meant the only way they could be together was in the world of dreams. Thanatos took Therese's hand as he scrutinized the face of his cousin Hermes. "You don't look like you came to play night frisbee." "No, sorry. Wish I could, though." "Then why are you here?" Ariadne asked. Hermes gave them all a smile. "My father wishes to invite you to a party honoring the bride and groom-to-be." Than and Therese exchanged looks of